Michael B. Jordan became the thirst trap of the century after his role in Black Panther. When Killmonger challenged T'Challa for the crown, it looked like T'Challa had it all in the abs department. However, the game was about to be changed in a big way. Hey guys, welcome back to The Binger. Marvel is full of strong superhero characters that have muscles most of us can only ever dream of. They never miss a chance to showcase a sneaky six-pack. In this video, we'll be looking at the best shirtless moments in the MCU ranked. Let's take a look at one of the funniest Marvel movies by a long shot, Thor Ragnarok. When Thor gets stuck with Hulk on a strange planet, things don't look like they're going too well. Banner has been on the planet for some time since his last freakout. Wanting to protect others and stay away, he became a champion for the Grandmaster. Thor looks for a way back to Earth for the two lost Avengers. Unfortunately, things don't go quite to plan when Hulk smashes his way through the ship he arrived on. The big guy bursts his way through the machine, his deltoids glinting in the electrical sparks. When he hears Natasha's voice on the pre-recorded video, he slowly reverts to Bruce Banner. So what earns Hulk a place on this list considering that Bruce isn't the most ripped Avenger? Well, it's all about the CGI. There's no doubt that Hulk is pure muscle. He's a giant smashing machine. His strength can't be denied, and the character was molded on a bodybuilder, so there's that. When Hulk goes back to Banner, the transition from Hulk muscle to Banner muscle is so seamless. It's pure art. Plus, it's kind of hilarious as Banner has no idea that he's been Hulk for 2 years. Bruce then watches his Hulk out on the ship's log and realizes they're in deep doo-doo. This scene ticks all boxes. Scott Lang. He's funny and he's got spirit. What more do you want from an Avenger? Well, a six-pack doesn't hurt. In the first AntMan movie, Scott has just been released from prison. When Hank Pym ropes him in to be the next superhero, Scott is a pure novice. He can't leap through keyholes, he can't punch to save his life, he can barely tie his own laces. He's about as useless as they come. Of course, he's got the suit going for him, but at that point, that's pretty much it. Hope is tasked with getting him into shape, but it doesn't come easily. Scott has no sense of balance, he can't fight to save his life, literally, and, well, he's just terrible. He does have one saving grace though. Toward the end of the training montage scene, we see Scott tending to his wounds as Hope watches on. He might not be as cut as some of the characters we've seen, but he's not half bad. Scott must have been pounding some serious iron while in the slammer to get a definition like that. He's no Dwayne Johnson, but hats off to Ant-Man. He's not as puny as you might think, given his name. Out of all the characters, Tony Stark is probably the least physically powerful. We love Tony 3000 and all, but that's just a fact. He's known for his incredible brain, not his incredible pecs. If he had Thor's otherworldly brawn, maybe he wouldn't need an Iron Man suit. We love Tony, or loved, him just the way he is. With that being said, it's not often that we see Robert Downey Jr. walking around shirtless. It's slim pickings, but the best moment comes in the first Iron Man movie. Tony explains his arc reactor to Pepper Potts for the first time. As he lays back and disconnects it, he asks for Pepper's help. Her hand reaches inside and pulls out the copper wire. After accidentally sending Tony into cardiac arrest, Pepper attaches the new reactor and hey, presto, everything is fine. Pepper's worried demeanor coupled with Tony's absolute faith in her makes it a pretty cute scene. This was a valuable moment in terms of developing the relationship between these two. Having someone's hand literally inside your chest probably creates a special bond that can't be ignored. This shirtless moment wasn't gratuitous either, which gives it extra points. It served a purpose to bring these two characters closer together. For most people, being thrown in jail is a time to mind your P's and Q's. This is even truer if you're wrongfully imprisoned. After all, who wants to give their captors another reason to be mean? You sit down, you be quiet, and you eat all your gruel like everyone else. Not Peter Quill, though. Star-Lord isn't exactly known for being shy and retiring. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the gang finds themselves thrown into Kiln Prison. From the off, Quill makes enemies of the guards and is tasered to a pulp. Next, he's stripped of all of his clothes and hosed down. The main reason that Peter gets a special mention here is because of Chris Pratt's transformation. Fans of the actor might recall how he was in the Parks and Rec days. Back then, he had more of a dad bod. Those days are long gone now, but it took Pratt a lot of time to get where he is. We're talking countless hours at the gym, strict diets, and just a lot of effort. For folk that like their burgers, like Pratt, this was tough. It paid off in the end, as scenes like this prove that he's the buffest Star-Lord around. When Rocket walks in carrying his prison uniform, he looks like a wet noodle compared to Quill. He is a completely different species though, so we'll let him off. Michael B. Jordan became the thirst trap of the century after his role in Black Panther. When Killmonger challenged T'Challa for the crown, it looked like T'Challa had it all in the abs department. However, the game was about to be changed in a big way. Killmonger wasn't about to walk away from the opportunity to get one up on T'Challa. What makes this character so interesting is his intense hatred for T'Challa. He's got that scarred and tatted thing going on too, but there's no denying that he's all muscle. The fight scene between the two is less of a test of physical strength and more of a glorified ab-off. If Marvel made wet t-shirt contests, which we totally don't advocate, then this would be what it looked like. Jordan's trainer kept the word savage in mind when figuring out how to sculpt the actor's body. Talking to Men's Health, Corey Calais said that he wanted Killmonger to look intimidating. That being said, he focused on making the shoulders better and making the upper chest pop. 3 workouts and 6 meals a day helped the pair achieve their vision. Without Calais' involvement, Killmonger could have paled in comparison to T'Challa. That just wouldn't have worked for the story at all. Considering the current Peter Parker is a kid in high school, it's incredible that he's as ripped as he is. He's too busy making eyes at MJ and destroying delis to work out, so how does Peter Parker get his abs? Does all that swinging from building to building require a lot of core strength? Maybe so. Peter certainly looked like he'd been working on his form in SpiderMan Far From Home. When Peter and MJ discover that Mysterio might not be who he claims to be, they rush back to the hotel. Peter, in all of his confusion, starts stripping down to put his suit on. There's just one teeny problem. MJ is still in the room. 22-year-old British actor Tom Holland stepped into Spidey's shoes, so perhaps he feels like he has something to prove. Although he's still a small dude by standard means, Holland's conditioning is second to none. Circuit training, chin-ups, and boxing have all played a big part. This moment was really well done, pushing the MJ and Peter love story subtly forward. Holland plays the part of awkward teen incredibly well, landing him this spot on the list. It'll be interesting to see how Holland adapts over the next couple of years. As he's still a relatively new character, he's sure to be around for a while yet. It's a real 2 for the price of 1 day. Here we've got Thor and Hulk again in another scene from Ragnarok. As Thor wakes up, he realizes he's trapped in a room. Of course he's shirtless because execs like to flaunt him in all of his glory. To protect his modesty, Thor throws on some clothes before turning in to address Hulk. Hulk is casually relaxing in a hot tub, which isn't exactly his natural environment. It's gotta be said that all of this championing seems to be working for the H-Man. He's managing to make some serious gains while trying to forget all the innocents he accidentally peeved. Thor starts to question his old friend, but Hulk isn't interested in having a conversation. He just wants to splash around. Pulling himself out of the tub to point out his jet, we get a view of Hulk's figure. He might be miserable, but he's doing well considering. A lot of people just let themselves go when they're feeling down. Hulk just uses the opportunity to smash things and work on his definition. If only we all had that approach when things go wrong, apart from the smashing thing, of course. Violence isn't the answer. When you're taking on a role as big as Captain America, there's a lot of pressure. Going back to the very first origins of the character in the comics, Cap was a big deal. He's the beating heart of the Avengers, the one with all the honor. Remember when we first saw Rogers and he was a teeny tiny little guy with a big heart and no muscles? Oh, how times have changed. In Captain America the First Avenger, he was given the super soldier serum. The scene is tense. We know we're about to see some huge transformation, but was anyone really prepared? Marvel did a really good job of making Rogers' original body look relatively real with Chris Evans' face on. When the real deal emerged, it was somewhat of a shock. It's a true payoff moment that is possibly one of the most important scenes ever in the MCU. It's the birth of Captain America as we know and love him, the making of the world's savior. The bright lights, Peggy's concerns, and Steve's screams all make it tick. When Steve emerges, his abs are shinier than the sun. It's not often when you get to see the making of a hero. Chris Evans went above and beyond to maintain that physique, so hopefully he's giving himself some time off. Now that Cap is bowed out, Evans can chow down. Thor has come a long way since we saw him introduced back in 2011. In the beginning, he was arrogant, stuffy, and a little bit too stiff. As the years have ticked by, Chris Hemsworth has settled into the character to turn in some incredible performances. He can do emotional, he can do humorous, he can definitely do shirtless. The whole point of Thor is that he is the perfect specimen. He's a god, for goodness sake. Sure, Loki is a god too, and he's as scrawny as they come, but Thor is meant to be a formidable figure. In the first movie, Thor is rescued from the desert after being booted out of Asgard by his dad. As he gets acclimated to his surroundings, he struts his stuff. He might not be used to human customs, or clothes for that matter, but the guy works it. There's something about the way he walks across the room in this scene that literally screams, "I'm the biggest dude here," as if his sheer mass makes it difficult for him to walk normally. He's got confidence for days. Of course, we saw Thor looking a little more rotund in Endgame. When he became depressed after the snap, he let himself go entirely. That was equally brilliant just because it was so hilarious. The words Thor and beer belly should never be used in the same sentence. What do you think? Would you put Thor in the top spot? Let us know in the comments. Before you go, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Until next time, Marvel fans, thanks for watching. See you on the flip side.